When should you start the college soccer recruiting process? I'm the college soccer guy and I help you play college soccer. Let me tell you a story. It's gonna be like story time. If you want to go to the top schools for soccer and for academics, you have to start in 8th grade. The reason you have to start in 8th grade is this. Students who want to go to the top schools, I'm talking Ivy League, UCLA, Princeton, Harvard, the kids that are applying to those schools are doing what the soccer players have to do, but for school. Let me explain. If you are a parent or a student who's like, I want to go to the top schools in the country, the percentage of chance you get into that school is crazy low. There was once a story recently, the student is a valedictorian of their high school, gets a perfect score on their SAT, and does not go to the Ivy Leagues. This means the reason you have to start so early is in order to get into those schools academically, you need to do so many other activities. Sport can be one of those activities, but you also need to internship. You need to do work in a line of business that you might do for a living one day, starting in 8th, 9th, 10th grade. If you don't believe me, you can go ask any company that does admissions process. They will all tell you the same thing if you want to get into these top schools. Now for soccer, you go, well, I'm a soccer player, so I don't really need to have as great grades as those kids, right? Because I'm an expert soccer player. The problem with that is the Harvards, the Princetons, the Ivy Leagues, the Dukes of the world, they have kids with those accolades and soccer. So if you just have soccer and you don't have those accolades academically, they'll just choose a student who has soccer and those accolades. So the reason you have to start so early is for the academic portion and for the soccer portion. But for the soccer portion, the reason you need to start early is because you need to be on a club team that's playing ECNL or MLS Next by freshman, sophomore year if you want to have a chance of playing at those top schools, because those top schools are committing kids so early. So for example, for the girls side, the 2025's top schools have already committed, much of their recruiting class for 2025s, okay? For boys soccer, the top schools, the Wake Forest, the Washingtons, they're already on their 25. They'll be talking and flirting with their 26s pretty soon. Yes, there are limitations as to how much they can communicate, but that doesn't really stop in the recruiting process. Also, you have to keep in mind, the reason I'm making this video and it's for you is I was never one of those people. I was never recruited as a freshman in high school. Nobody knew who I was. And unless you're playing for the youth national team or for the best LA Galaxy or MLS Next team, they're not going to know who you are. But that doesn't mean you're not good enough to be on their team, right? Life isn't fair. The recruiting process isn't fair. But if you take action steps, you can increase your chances. And that's what I did because I was playing JV soccer as a junior. Nobody knew who I was. And later I went on to get a full ride scholarship to play Division I soccer. And the reason I was able to do that was because, yes, I started early, and yes, I was being proactive. Even as a soccer player, I wasn't being rated tremendously highly at the time. So if you have above a 4.0, or you anticipate having above a 3.8 to 4.0 in 8th grade or in high school, you need to start the recruiting process now. We need to get your academics in order, so that way we can start actually getting you in the correct place for them to consider you as a soccer player. If you send an email to a coach and you go, as a freshman, I'm very interested in your school, say it's a Division I school, right? They're not going to respond to you. And you say, I have a 3.3 GPA. They're just going to throw it away because you're not going to be qualified anyways, even if you're an amazing soccer player. The reason I'm bringing this up is I am the expert in college soccer. I'm not an expert in the admission process, but we have since brought people on my team who are experts in the admissions process. And the thing they keep saying to me over and over again is, Zev, your students want to go to these top academic schools. They must start that understanding in 8th grade so we can get them internships, so we can get them researching if they want to do science or STEM majors, or if they want to do business, they need to start a business already in 8th, 9th grade. If you want to go to Stanford and Harvard and all those Ivy League schools, that is what you have to do. Here's the most amazing part. Let's say you don't want to go to those schools, or you're like, I don't really care if I do, I'll just go to any school. Imagine if you did do an internship. That school could give you a full ride based off of academics and soccer, or just one or the other, or you could get in instead of another kid. Like, just to give you an example, let's say you want to go to Bowdoin. Okay, Bowdoin's an amazing top Division III school. Unbelievable top Division III school. If you want to go to a Bowdoin and you've done an internship already and you're playing high-level soccer at a high-level club team, then, oh my gosh, you'll be so much better off. And then the last thing I just want to say is, look, if we can automate your process like a business, okay? So let's say you're in 8th grade and I've taught you where's your internships are going to be, how to make highlight videos, what schools we're going to reach out to when. By the time you're a freshman and sophomore, all we'll be doing is making videos and sending it out. You already know what emails to say. You already have your schools picked out. You'll be able to make adjustments if a school wants to go on a visit. We have a student right now. I started with them as a freshman. Now they're a junior, and they've been talking to these D3 schools for so long. They're doing like multiple official visits their fall season of junior year with these top academic D3 schools. And this student also wants to go to Princeton. Well, Princeton's really competitive, but when we say to Princeton, now that he's June 15th of his sophomore year, hey, look, we've already been offered official visits by all these top other academic Division III schools. We just started talking to D1s. They'll be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Why don't you come talk to us? And Princeton just responded to him. Isn't that amazing? Okay, if you want more help, give me a call. Links in the bio. That was a really long video, but goodbye. I love you.